it's just crazy that this practice alone can do so much for you and change everything within you. Hello guys. All right, today is a story time. Why do I love and how did semen retention change my life? Okay, semen retention has been such a gigantic, probably the trigger point to my whole spiritual journey, and honestly everything that I believe in and the path that I'm living and the manifestations that I'm headed towards all have to do and all link back to semen retention. And yes, as a woman, I practice semen retention or woman retention or orgasmic retention because that is what I'm doing. I'm retaining orgasms. I'm retaining myself from having orgasms, which is my sexual energy, whether it's through sex or whether it's by myself. And, I know a big part of the semen retention community is also very closely related to nofap, which is the porn addiction and all of those sorts of things. So I luckily don't really have a problem when it comes to watching the site. I never really have been. I was kind of into some other things, but mainly I was into having sex with other people. And I know this might be crazy because I'm a hijabi and I wear a hijab. I outwardly am Muslim, and I know it's not common for you to see a Muslim woman having, a bunch of bodies sexually. And I do want to be vulnerable in this video. I want to talk about my own personal experiences with my own sex life and why I love semen retention, because I used to use sex as a very bad tool. I did not use it correctly. I used it to run away from my problems, the same way someone would weed and the same way someone would use the site as, it's an escape, and it was a reason to not go within and face whatever you're facing, and rather you just use a distraction. And I guess for me, sex was the best way to escape and the easiest way that I knew how to embody. Now, as a woman, we have that succubus energy in us, right? But it's meant to be used for your man. Like, as a wife, as a woman, I portray myself to the world differently than how I portray myself to my husband, and that is the point of a hijab altogether. Women are supposed to be a certain way so that we hide our beauty from the gaze of other men and only engage in that and allow our man to beautify and enjoy and admire us. Understand? We don't need to beautify ourselves for others. And it's meant to be like, my outward physical perception that I was giving off people was that succubus energy that was meant to be sacred for one person. And that is why I have so many bodies, because I knew how to master my succubus side, and that is what I would use to attract my allure so I could escape my own inner reality. And that is why semen retention saved my friggin' life, because now I can go within. Now that I have, by the way, I'm at like 30 days. I've been practicing semen retention since 2019, like let's say 2020. That's when I really just started practicing it, and ever since I haven't stopped. So I have gone on like 200-day streaks, and I've gone on a 100-day streak. I've gone on a 60-day streak. Right now I'm at 30 days. I usually go between 30 to 40 to 60 on a regular, time, because that's become my lifestyle now. I'm just it's always what I practice. And if I'm in a long distance relationship, so I have the opportunity to not have intercourse while practicing semen retention. So I'm completely sexual energy free, and it gets tough, okay? It gets tough. It gets hard. I'm with you guys, but the clarity and the energy is all worth the wait. And when I do see my baby, my husband, at the end of this year, it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be great. And that's also the amazingness of semen retention, because now I can enjoy sex. Oh my God. Okay, so let's get into it, right? I have how many bodies? I'm gonna say 10 plus. And I had 10 plus at the age of like 21. That is insane when you think about it, because I don't think a woman who's supposed to respect herself or knows what it is, how to move as a feminine woman, would have that many bodies as a young girl, because that is the time you must protect yourself most. But I was just so, anyways, back to the point. I had so many bodies, yet I'm gonna tell you, even today, out of all my bodies, only 3 people were actually able to help me climax or give me sexual pleasure or actually something that I could enjoy. And it's crazy that I still used sex as a way to run away from my problems, even though majority of the time I wasn't even being pleased. I wasn't even like, what was the true purpose of it was really not even sexual pleasure at all. It was deeply, deeply connected to me just wanting to run away and me not wanting to face myself and me feeling so alone because I was so empty inside and, looking for any sort of reason to boost my ego to feel good again because I had no idea how to do it for myself. So yeah, like semen retention changed my life, and I've learned so much about myself. I've learned how to respect myself again and put myself on the pedestal and learn how to not feel so alone, or using healthy coping mechanisms. I honestly would compare sex like a drug. It's really it really hurts you in a way that, if not used correctly, it really hurts you in a way where you lose your soul. And that is why sex runs the world. And that is why so many women are lost into their succubus low energy vibration, because it brings something that they don't know how to provide for themselves and may never know, and is literally what society and the government and all these big people want us to stray into. They want us to be on the path of destruction and emptiness and just darkness. And it's just insane, because a world of darkness brings them more power, but what is the meaning of it at all when you're empty? And semen retention has brought life back into my soul. I've learned so much about my sexual energy, my own energy, and just how powerful I really am. I'm so powerful on like retention and being meaningful and purposeful and true and integral, and all the good things that I was running away from being by just using the easy way out to, bust a nut and feel better. I'm just so grateful that God has given me the sight and the faith and the courage and the curiosity to actually want to change my life and want to see the world in a different way, in the hard way, in the way that requires work and discipline and consistency. I have what it takes to get this far. So I'm really glad that, God has put these abilities in me, because of course nothing happens without God. And that is the other thing too, although I was disrespecting my religion to the utmost, it has brought me to a place now where semen retention is also a part of my true beliefs and what I believe in when it comes to the greater picture, the universe, God. I honestly relate it. It helps me get closer to God. It helps me understand spirituality in a completely different way. And it's just crazy that this practice alone can do so much for you and change everything within you. Your mind, your third eye, your soul, your heart, like wow. So I really recommend this practice if this is something that you are curious about and feel like you've been using sex the wrong way and you want to give your soul life again. Yeah, I would really recommend this, even as a woman, because we hold even more sexual energy, our life force, the thing we create life, the things we birth with. So we have the power to birth. We have so much energy and power. and you know, bringing that all back in and channeling it, flowing it throughout your own soul and body is incredible, and of course comes with so many benefits that you're not even ready for it. You're not ready for it. It's amazing. Okay, I love semen retention. It really saved my life. It made me such a better person, and shout out to my husband who also practices it with me. Like that's a whole different, you know, video coming up, practicing, you know, semen retention with a man, with a relationship, and how much more meaningful my relationships have gotten too. So yeah, shout out him, because he's definitely deep into this practice and has shown me so much about myself in the world, because he's, you know, an accountable partner. And yeah, I just love him. I love him. See, like I even have love in my life because of semen retention. Like semen retention solved all my problems. That's crazy. I really hope you guys watch this through, because I had fun making this video. And yeah, we're gonna go keep growing and flowing. Peace.